problematic. So let's talk about that. Heavy rain drenching Texas. That's setting up days of flash flood risk across the Lone Star State. Some tropical moisture surging in from the south, and with disturbances moving along that boundary, that's the way the jet stream's oriented. It's not moving all that quickly, in fact, at all, over the next several days. And with that, the same pattern, same results, we always say. So here we are, multiple pieces of energy finding their way across the southern plains. That dip in the jet stream through Friday, we aren't expecting much motion to it at all. And with an almost infinite moisture source in the Gulf down into parts of the Western Caribbean, you've got some warm water and a lot of moisture down that way. Heavy rain in the forecast repeatedly, day after day after day. Now, there's a lot of benefit to this. The heaviest of the rain is expected to fall in zones where we do have pockets of extreme and exceptional drought. That does include all the way up into northern Louisiana and into Arkansas, too. It's just the rates that are a concern. And if we can keep those manageable, this will be outside of the timing being poor end of the week and into the upcoming holiday weekend. This would be a week that features a lot of benefit and a big chip out of that drought. As you notice, there's a lot of rain icons. Of course, it's going to come with some flood potential. Today, we talked about the zones pretty similar into tomorrow. Thursday, that's probably the biggest of the bunch in through here, and it's not out of the question. We may see somewhere in that level 2 zone an upgrade to a level 3 as the forecast models hone in. That is, in a sense, starting to visualize some of the cumulative problems of this. It pours heavily day after day after day in these areas. Eventually, some spots going to become more vulnerable. So we'll be watching for that into the end of the week. This is through the week, through the weekend, all the way through the holiday, Memorial Day coming up on Monday. Look at that swath of red in through here. This is in zones where we have the extreme and exceptional drought, somewhere between 5 and 8 inches of rain. But you do notice, and I wouldn't pay attention to exactly where this is. That's all going to be determined by where these impulses of energy move. But it does represent in the trend here, there are some spots where we could easily, over the next several days, pick up in excess of 8 inches of rain. So just something to know. It's an exceedingly soggy stretch. And if you live in a flood-prone spot and you get unlucky, some of the heaviest of the rain moves overhead, may have some issues over the next several days. So plan accordingly. This is something to watch closely.